Hey everyone, welcome back to Self-Made. Thanks for tuning in again. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I didn't anticipate this, but the Mrs. Muscle episode aired on Christmas Day. So we didn't even talk about Christmas in that episode, but lo and behold, we were the Christmas episode. So that was a nice little surprise for all of you. Hope you enjoyed that gift because I do not have anything else to offer, unfortunately. But yeah, that was a great episode. We had lots of great feedback. We really appreciate the kind words, and there'll be plenty more one-on-one episodes coming with other people in the industry, which I'm really looking forward to because I love learning from people who are further along in the journey than me or just doing something different to me. So I get a lot of different insights and experiences and knowledge and wisdom, which I can then impart with you as well. So very, very cool. But in this episode, sorry, my phone is going off. Let me just mute that. Look at me. I've been out of action for a couple weeks now, but here we go. I've got a cool little episode for you today about a parable that I read about the other day. And I think it's a really impactful and insightful parable. It's really simple, but I think it's got a really, really powerful meaning behind it. So in 1666, there was the Great Fire of London. I don't know how familiar people are with that. I think it's a pretty famous event in time, so I won't give much more context behind that. But anyway, a lot of buildings burnt down and there was a lot of chaos. But in particular, there was this one building called St. Paul's Cathedral that burnt down. And a famous architect at the time by the name of Christopher Wren was tasked with rebuilding that cathedral. And so fast forward a few years, one day in 1671, Christopher observed 3 bricklayers while they worked on the structure. Wren turned to one of them and asked, "What are you doing?" Very simply, just put to them, "What are you doing here?" To which bricklayer number 1 replied, "I'm a bricklayer. I'm working hard laying bricks to feed my family." The second bricklayer, when asked the same question, responded, "I'm a builder. I'm building a wall." But the third bricklayer, the most productive of the 3 and the future leader of the group, when asked what he was doing, replied with a gleam in his eye, "I'm a cathedral builder. I'm building a great cathedral to the Almighty." And so I think there's 3 big takeaways here. There's big picture thinking, so being able to see the end result and how your work contributes to that end, like bricklayer number 3. There's that attitude. So a positive attitude and pride in what you are doing will show up in your work and your motivation as well. And then number 3, I think the connection to the goal of the company. So employees who are more connected to the organization's mission, vision, and values are happier, more engaged, and more productive employees. And so bricklayer number 2 had a better picture of what was going on than bricklayer number 1. So bricklayer number 2 said, "I'm a builder, I'm building a wall." So he's focused on the task at hand. Bricklayer number 1 doesn't care about the task at hand, let alone the big picture. He just says, "I'm here to earn an income to support my family." Whereas bricklayer number 2, he has a vision of what he's doing. He has a clear outline, he has a clear goal, and he's focused on that one thing. But bricklayer number 3 has the big overarching meaning behind the work. And he knows that he is building a great cathedral for the Almighty. So that is his big driver behind what he's doing. And that's why he's showing up to work more efficient. He's showing up more motivated. And I don't know what work culture was like back in the 1670s, but I reckon a guy like that probably called in sick much less. He complained less and he did much better work than his peers. And so it's a big metaphor on the power of purpose, where the cathedral builder, bricklayer number 3, he demonstrates a personal expression of purpose that transforms his attitude and gives a higher meaning to his work, which translates into obviously better work output. Okay, so we can also tie this back to cleaning. Whether ourselves as cleaning business owners, we sometimes feel like bricklayer number 1 or number 2, where we're just doing this as a means to an end. We're just doing this to provide for our family, and there is really no mission and values and overarching structure behind what we're doing. We may be like bricklayer number 2, where we have a decent idea of what we're working towards, but we don't know why we're heading there or what the bigger mission behind it is. Okay, it could be your cleaners. So you might have a cleaner who just sees cleaning as an in-between job or just something to make ends meet in the meantime. Or you may have cleaner number 2, the person who views cleaning as a real job and can see themselves building the walls and really playing a role in the growth of the business. Or there's the purpose-driven cleaner, which is like bricklayer number 3, and that's the person who sees their work as part of a larger mission, improving lives, creating spaces where people can thrive, helping other people find work and employment, contributing to a larger cause or mission or vision, and sharing the same attitude towards the business as hopefully the business owner. These are the future team leaders and managers. And your business is like that cathedral. You aren't just laying bricks or cleaning houses. You're building a legacy. You're building opportunity. You're enriching lives and you're setting yourself up. And so there's 3 lessons that I think we can have for leaders here, whether it be team leaders, managers, or you as the business owner. And so number 1, we need to inspire our team. We need to share that vision with the employees. We need to help them see that their work is part of something greater than just themselves. And if you don't already have that vision and that mission and those values set out, that you need to circle back and do that immediately, because everything else that comes in the business, it is built upon those values. Those are the pillars of the business, the values, the mission, and the vision. So go back and work on that if you haven't already, and really think hard about it, because it is super important. Okay, and so number 2 in lessons for leaders, I think providing resources and growth opportunities for the cleaners. So they don't want to be like bricklayer number 1, where they just see it as a means to an end or an in-between job that has no growth potential or opportunity for them down the track. There needs to be a clear pathway set out for them, where if they want to grow in the role, they can. Because usually the A players, the ones who are really, really good at what they do and love it, they're going to quickly hit a ceiling, and they're going to feel burnt out and unappreciated because they're not getting a pay rise, or they're not getting upskilled, or they're not learning new things and playing a bigger role in the company. So that is super, super important. And look, I'm not perfect either. Like I'm working on this every day, and that's why I'm here to talk about it. So number 3, build a mission-driven brand. So number 3 of the 3 lessons for leaders and business owners is build a mission-driven brand. So develop a strong mission statement for your cleaning business that reflects your values and your purpose and your vision. And this will attract purpose-driven employees and like-minded customers. And when it comes to a practical approach for implementing this into the business and growing, you need to transcend this into your marketing. It needs to resonate, and you need to highlight the purpose behind your cleaning business in your marketing and show how you improve people's lives, not just clean spaces. You need to show it in the hiring and training. You need to recruit and train people to see themselves as part of a larger mission, and frame cleaning as a craft that they can actually take pride in, right? It's not just a job where they're laying bricks. They're not just swinging the mop. They're not just spraying and wiping. It's a craft that they can take pride in. And I think customer relationships as well. It's super important that not only your staff are on board with it, but your customers are as well. So build long-term relationships with your clients by aligning with their values and showing how your work contributes to their success or well-being as well. So yeah, that's the story of the 3 bricklayers. I found that really motivational and kind of inspiring in a way. It really clearly outlines the 3 main drivers of an employee or a business owner when it comes to doing what they do. You can either be number 1, who is just doing it as a means to an end. It's just an income to them. It's just a task they're doing. You can be number 2, who has an idea of what they're doing and is focused on getting it done. Or you can be number 3, who has the clear vision and the bigger picture focus, and therefore is more motivated, is showing up better every day, and really wants to do the best job they possibly can, which in the case of an employee means they're calling in sick less, it means they're complaining less, and it means you've got a loyal team member who's going to stick around, who's going to do amazing work, and is going to become a really valuable asset down the track. I've got Stacey. Stacey was bricklayer number 3 for me. From day 1, I knew she was that person, and that's why she is now running my biggest location in the business. I've got plenty of bricklayer number 2s. I've got plenty of people who, they're great workers. They know what they're doing, but I need to get them more on board with the mission and the vision. And so we're working on that now. I'm setting up a lot of one-on-one meetings with my team members over the coming months. And we're really just going to hone in on our values and culture and build that up. So yeah, we've also got a couple of number 3s, as I guess we'll call them now, bricklayer number 3s, where these people really understand the business. They really understand where we're going, and they're on board with us in what we do, and they understand what we stand for, and they want to grow with us. So really amazing when you get people like that. And it's just a numbers game. I mean, if you don't do anything, if you just get a lot of people into one room, you're going to have people who are number 1, number 2, and number 3, just by default. The good news is you can turn number 1s into number 2s, and you can turn those number 2s into number 3s, right? It's not rocket science. There are a lot of moving parts, but Those are a couple of things you can do to structure things a bit better and hopefully move the needle and help people get more on board with the vision and the values. So remember, 3 lessons that you can take away from this: inspire your team, provide resources and growth opportunities, and build a mission-driven brand that resonates through all your marketing, your hiring and training, and your customer relationships. So hope you found that helpful. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments below if it has that. I don't know what the podcast platform you're listening to on has, but leave a review. I've been seeing a lot more 5-star reviews coming through. Really appreciate that as well. Please keep leaving the reviews. It helps other people find the podcast and it will help them grow with us. So always appreciate that. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. I'll hopefully line up some more guests on the podcast. And actually, one person said that the interview with Mrs. Muscle, there were a lot of pauses, and they said awkward pauses. Now, I just want to touch on this. So we did that podcast over Zoom, and because we did it over Zoom and she's in Melbourne and I'm in Perth, there is a bit of a delay. There's like half a second between me saying something and her hearing it, and vice versa. So that's why there's a lot of delays in talking. It's just because she might be like waiting for me to finish something, even though I've already finished it, but she doesn't know that because there's that pause. So that's why Zoom interviews can be a bit awkward. I hope that clears that up. But yeah, it's Arlene and I, Mrs. Muscle and I, we have great chemistry. We can talk for hours and hours without any pauses, but that's the reason for that. So yeah, hope you found this episode helpful. Please let me know what you thought of it, and please leave a 5-star review, and I'll talk to you again soon.